Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle, and today we are kind of revisiting a card, but also not really. If you happen to follow me on Instagram, you will have seen I posted this card way back in January as part of a coffee themed Instagram hop. And when I made the card, I filmed it, and it's got a little bit of a spring vibe to it, and here where I live, we've kind of hit our first consistent run of spring-like weather, and I'm hoping it's not like, I live in the Midwest, and if you know that sometimes spring likes to like fake you out a little bit, and it is only March, so like it could be still trying to fake us out a little bit. But like looking at the weather for the next couple weeks, it looks like maybe, just maybe, it might be here to stick around for a while. So hopefully that is the case. But anyway, this weekend was really springy, and I decided that I was ready to share this cute little coffee themed bunny card. It was also daylight savings time, and I feel like the coffee theme is appropriate for the fact that everyone would have spent the last week like trying to adjust to the new time change. Maybe this would have actually been better as last weekend's video, but still, I think that it's timely now at this point, this card. So, like I said, I made this for an Instagram hop back in January. So, and then it was, like I said, it was just felt like time to share it. So, this part of the video I want to talk about real quick because it's kind of a mistake, but I left it in here because I wanted to talk about it and tell you about it. So, this card, I got invited to do this Instagram hop like 2 days before the actual hop, which is fine. I can make a card that quick, no problem. But I had to make a card quick because I also had to like edit the photos, get the Instagram post ready. I wasn't going to be home when the Instagram post needed to go live, so I needed to schedule it. So I had to have it done earlier, so that I could like get it all edited and scheduled and everything. Or like sometimes if I'm like home for an Instagram hop, I'll just like wait until the time and like do everything like right as I need to post it. But I had things going on the day of the hop, so I was like, okay, I have to schedule it. So I needed to get it done even earlier, so I had time to schedule it. And so I was kind of rushing a little bit, is kind of what I'm getting at. So normally whenever I color something, especially with my Copic markers, I like to let the image sit at least overnight, like bare minimum overnight. So I had first stamped this bunny, which is another Gina K Design / Dina Gerner set. Not surprising. By the time you watch this, it'll be out. But they have a new release coming. Gina does this week, and I'm recording this on Monday. The release is tomorrow on Tuesday. And Dina has an adorable kitty cat set coming that hopefully I will have already ordered by the time you watch this. I'm so excited for those kitty cats. Anyway, off topic. But I kind of lost my train of thought, so let me get back on track here. Right, coloring images and why it didn't work. So I like to stamp these with obsidian ink usually when I'm going to color with my Copic markers. Black Onyx from Gina is my other go-to black ink, but I tend to gravitate more towards the obsidian. You could really use either unless you're watercoloring. At the end of the day, they're both black inks. But this is when I noticed things were going wrong. So I started to notice that the ink was smearing a little bit. And a couple things. I, again, was kind of hurrying through this and had just grabbed a scrap piece of paper, so it wasn't my best paper as far as marker coloring goes. And second, I kind of forgot about the dry time with the obsidian. I personally find and feel that the obsidian takes a little while longer to dry than other inks, which is fine because usually although I've talked about this in previous videos, that I haven't been as good at setting up videos like I have been in the past, but usually have no problem letting things dry at least overnight. Or sometimes I'll like start a video a couple days before I'm actually gonna like finish filming the video, just so the ink has enough time to like sit and dry, especially if I'm gonna color, and especially if I'm gonna color with my Copic markers. But I was short on time, so I didn't really let it dry all the way like I should have. And two, I was gonna color with my Copic markers because it's the quickest way for me to color an image quickly. I'm actually in the middle of filming a video with that I'm doing with colored pencils, and I have been working on that video for almost 3 days, and I'm still not even done with the coloring. And I'll talk more about that. I'm hoping that actually is going to be next week's video if all goes to plan and I'm able to finish it. So I'll talk more about like why it takes that long in that video. I won't bore you with that today. But anyway, so what I ended up doing is stamping it with my black onyx ink, which you just saw me do, instead of my obsidian, because that will dry just slightly faster. And when you look at the photos of this card, you can still see where it smears, because ideally I still would have let it sit overnight. I just didn't have that kind of time on this card. So it didn't. I could only give it as long as it took me to do this part of the card and get everything else ready. So it still smears a little bit. Heat setting it can help. Your cardstock makes a big difference too. But it just know that like I said, I have found that the best thing to do is to let it sit at least overnight, and if not, a couple days. If you can. Obviously, that's not always possible. But that's what I found has worked the best for me. And like I said, usually a lot of times I can let an image sit up to a week before I finally sit down and color it. And then those ones like pretty much never get feathery on the ink or anything. But like if I rush it like this, or if I rush it like in some of the previous videos you've been seeing, because I just haven't been as good about like pre-setting up stuff for my next video after I finish my last video, which is what I used to do, it feathers a little bit. So it's kind of like, to me, it's not earth-shattering if it happens, if it gets, kind of feathery or smeary or whatever. I think on my Lovebirds card, my last Valentine's Day card this year, I showed you like sometimes I'll go in with a colored pencil and clean it up if I need to, or something like that. But yeah, letting your ink dry, especially again depending on what cardstock you're using. I've been using a lot of just like scrap white cardstock that I have around that I'm not 100% sure what brand it is, which I think is why I've been seeing so much of it, because I'm not using my like usual like Gina K heavy base weight, which is what I usually like to use for my markers. Same thing, you still have to let it dry, but yeah, that's really all the tips I have for that. As far as making sure your ink doesn't smear. Okay, this is the real exciting part of this video though. When I had filmed this, Gina had just come out with, and I had just gotten all 4 of her new ink colors. So I've used them a few times on this channel since then. But this was the first time like I opened them and used them, and like I was planning this card in my head, and I had like the vision for it. There's no sketch, there's no color palette for this one, because I had kind of a vision in my head already of what I wanted to do. So, and the biggest thing was I wanted to use these ink colors. So this is the Sunkissed Coral, Blue Sky, Butterscotch, and Emerald Coast. Those are the 4 newest colors. I only have the inks for them. I haven't bought the cardstock yet. I have so much paper that it's kind of obnoxious. I'm desperately trying to like use it down a little bit, so I'm kind of on a cardstock buying ban currently. It's fun in a way because it pushes me to like use different colors. Like I am entirely out of like a dark blue navy color, and I have been for a couple months now, and it's so tempting to like go buy some because I do tend to use that kind of often. But at the same time, it's also kind of nice, or it forces me to like try something different, which is also not really a bad thing. So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. So I only have the inks. I don't have the cardstocks. I am resisting the urge to buy the cardstocks, honestly, but I will get them eventually. I know I will. That's kind of the goal. Is I have so much cardstock from like Michael's and Joann's and stuff like that. When that's a whole nother topic about Joann's closing. We're not going to talk about that today because I don't have time in this video. But it's like from when I first started, it's a lot of collection of cardstock from like when I first started card making and was going for the easily accessible, less expensive stuff than necessarily like the good high quality stuff. Um, and so I'm just trying to like work my way through some of that. And some old pattern papers and stuff I have, like just, you know, want to use up what I have so that I can buy the cool, fun stuff now. That I'm a little more experienced. So I originally in this vision of my card, I was actually only going to use 3 colors. I was going to only use the sun-kissed coral, the butterscotch, and the blue sky. But then I was kind of like looking at my oval, which I just cut out with some masking paper, because I was kind of going for sort of a bit of a clean and simple vibe with this one. So I used an oval die that I had to cut out an oval out of some masking paper, and then that I cut to an A2 sized card panel, and then yeah, then I just stuck it on the panel and with the oval in the center and started ink blending. Now, technically, thinking about it now, I didn't really have to do this because I'm gonna layer another piece on top, and like I didn't really have to only do the oval. If we're like I could have just ink blended the whole background, but this also made it easier because I was ink blending a smaller space compared to like ink blending the entire background when half of it was going to get covered up anyway. So I went with this route. It also helped me to like lay things out and like because I was thinking like I earlier when I was die cutting, because I didn't talk about this when it happened, but earlier when I was die cutting, I had to like line up the masking paper and my top layer so that my ovals would line up in the right spot. And I realized I didn't really have to do that. Like I could have just ink blended the whole background and then not had to worry about if the ovals lined up and everything. So that would probably be an easier way to do it if you wanted to, but I didn't do it that way. Also, I had wanted to point out that I love the rainbow these new colors make. This may be one of my new favorite rainbow blends. I don't know why I didn't think it was gonna like blend so nicely into a rainbow, because really, like looking back on it, like it's a red, yellow, green, blue, which is pretty much as basic rainbow spectrum as you can get. Um, but like it blends really, really nice into a rainbow. And obviously, like you get some of the other colors like in the mix where the colors overlap, because like sun-kissed coral is like a red orangey color. And so once you mix it with the butterscotch, which is very yellow, like you get kind of a more orange color in the blend. Now obviously I had a green, like, but I could have let blue sky and butterscotch make their own green, but I decided to bring the emerald coast in, and like that was originally why I wasn't gonna even include the green in, because I was like, well, the butterscotch and the blue sky will make a green on their own. But I ended up deciding to bring in the emerald coast too, because it was, why not, first of all, why not use all 4 colors if I had them, and 2, I'm actually really glad I did, because I think it made the green a little bit brighter, and I liked that a lot. Okay, so now I've been letting this sit for a while. I have at this point let it sit for as long as I can. I can no longer wait, just with my timeline and trying to get it done for the Instagram hop, and like I have done all of the steps that I can do up to this point, except for one, which I'm going to do in a minute, because I forgot about it. Actually, I don't remember if I forgot about it or if it was a last minute decision. It may have been a last minute decision. Slight design change at the very end. So now I am at the point where I have to color it. I don't have a choice not to anymore. Um, I could have heat set it a little bit. Like I said, I now it's with the black onyx, so I'm kind of trusting that that dries a little faster. And again, in my experience, which I should also say is very environment based as well. If you live in Arizona where it's super super dry like all the time, or like in the desert somewhere, your stuff may dry a little bit faster than mine does. So like it is very environment based. If you're in a basement and it's super like humid in your basement where your craft room is, like you might things will take longer to dry. I get like I always say I'm kind of middle of the road. I feel like most of the time, or stuff takes a medium amount of time to dry. It's not never takes really longer than much longer than expected, but I can also fall on either side, where something can take longer than expected to dry, or it can dry quicker than I'm expecting. Um, so like, you know, just another factor to consider when it comes to dry times on things. This includes pastes and all of that kind of stuff too, um, as well as your inks. So I haven't, I kind of looked away from the screen for a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I don't know if I've done it yet. I can't, and I'm trying to figure it out from like how I have the video edited. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna do it in a second. Um, but I'm gonna pull that away in a second. I'm gonna look at it. And I'm gonna realize it's still feathering a little bit in some places, especially where, this is my other tip, I'm going over the black ink with the marker directly. One way that you can kind of avoid the feathering if it really bothers you is to just not touch the black lines with your marker. Sometimes I don't care. Usually when I'm coloring, that's what it boils down to. I just kind of don't care. And I don't want to have to be that detailed. So mine feathers sometimes. It just happens. Like I said, it's kind of your personal preference, and it's up to you on if that's something you can live with, or if that's something that really bothers you. Um, so yeah, I really like I wish I would have. I did not write it down, but I kind of wish I would have written down the color combinations I used on that bunny, because I really like it and I think it's really pretty. I didn't want to do like, there's a lot of white going on in this card, so I didn't really want to do like a super white bunny or a gray bunny. And most of the bunnies where I live are brown anyway, at least the bunnies that live outside. Inside bunnies I've seen come in lots of colors, but the bunnies that live outside are pretty much all brown. There's this really, really adorable, super chunky bunny that lives by where I work. And sometimes he's on like the front lawn of my office building, when I go to work, and I really like him, but I'm a little worried about him. This is so off topic. Because I saw a hawk the other day, and I'm like, oh, maybe bunny friend is not there anymore. That's really sad. But, anyway, it's die cutting time. So I just, for the rest of the bunny, I just kind of grabbed Copic markers that I felt looked similar to kind of the color scheme I had going on, from the new Gina K colors, just to color in the bunny's little dress, the bow, the coffee mug. The mug's got a little heart on it. The one thing I would do differently here with how I colored it is I kind of colored the bunny's slippers in the same, is very similar color to the bunny, which at the time was just purely me being lazy, because I just wanted to, I didn't want to have to get out another color. So, yeah, that wasn't the best choice on my part, but I would have picked a different color. Maybe I would have done them green or something, because I don't think I had a lot of green in there. I think her coffee mug was green, but I think that was it. So I kind of wish I would have done that, but oh well. I did what I did, and it's still cute, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. And I'm just cutting her out now, and I was able to cut out the greeting at the same time, which I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I love the fact that we can die cut greetings now. I mean, not that we never couldn't before, but I should say I love the fact that it's becoming more of a thing for people to, or for companies to include dies for the greetings, because I think they look really nice. And I have an older set that was one of the first sets I got that had dies for the greetings in it. And I've been using it so much lately just because it has the dies for the greetings. I've been trying to make a couple anniversary cards because like I said, I've gotten pretty decent about sending out birthday cards, but I decided to like up my game and try to start sending out anniversary cards to people who I don't know all of my friends' anniversaries, but I know some of them. So the people who I know their anniversaries, like trying to send out like cards to them, and I like to. A lot of times the card designs lend themselves more to a die cut greeting than a stamped greeting, and I have one stamp set that has a happy anniversary die in it. So actually, I'm gonna put this question out to you guys. If you have a happy anniversary, something along those lines, die that you like, whether it's just like a happy anniversary die cut, like word die, or if it's a stamp die combo situation, let me know in the comments down below. This week is, because I'm gonna ramble for a little bit here. I embossed that sort of outside panel with a Swiss Dots embossing folder that I had, just because I liked the extra little bit that it added, and I really would need to be better about using my embossing folders because I forget how much I like them. And then this part from here is just going to be me gluing together, so I'm just going to chat for a little bit about some upcoming things. So this week, because that reminded me of talking about finding the anniversary die, reminded me. Wednesday, this past Wednesday, it's coming up for me, but it's already happened for you, was the unboxing event for the spring SCT event, Crop and Create Delivered. And I know I skipped vlogging in the fall because I had family do the event with me, and I decided I was debating vlogging it, and ended up deciding that I'd rather just sort of like sit back and enjoy it with them rather than like try to vlog it too. But this time I'm doing it by myself again, so vlogs will come back for sure. But the unboxing event is Wednesday, so I've been trying to use the discount codes and stuff to look for a happy anniversary die of some kind, or stamp set or whatever. But I have yet to find one. I think, yeah. So let me know if you have favorites in the comments, because I'm open to it, and like I said, I have some discount codes to use. So, and I do have I have the Oliver Stitched ABCs. I have, through the event, I have a discount code from Lawn Fawn, and I have 2 more alphabet sets from them in my cart to purchase. And so I could just make a happy anniversary out of the letters. I could use my scan and cut, find an SVG file or something, or just design it on my scan and cut too. But I just haven't wanted to do that either. So I don't know. I gotta think about it. Maybe I do just want to design a couple on my scan and cut and have a day where I cut a bunch out, which I might bust out my scan and cut for Crop and Create homework this weekend, so maybe I'll do that this weekend. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you again soon, and have a crafty day.